Hi everyone, I'm going to try to do a quick tutorial and show you how to insert the brass tubing into the torso. The best way that I like to do this is when I take the brass tubing and I've already have my epoxy on that as my core. I like to sculpt my leg separate from the whole doll. It's just a lot easier. And I already have her shoe. Now I want to mention here, I know I've said that I was going to sculpt Tinkerbell, and she is changing. Don't feel like this is going to be Tinkerbell. She's become a much larger doll than I had planned on, but the reason for that is because I had the lights that gave out too much heat, and it affected my ability to work with the clay, so I had to keep going larger and larger. So I believe I am going to make a fashion doll, but I will do Tinkerbell. But I want to do her on a much smaller scale than this, because this one's going to be pretty close to 9 inches tall. So I have already started sculpting the leg, and I already have the shoe going. And if you're interested, please leave a comment below, and I will show you a real neat technique of how to really understand making a shoe. I'm very, very obsessed with high heels, I have to say that. Okay, here's my doll, and I already have the cavity in the torso. Now there's two ways that you can do this. If your torso is pretty well defined, you can cook it at this point, as long as you have that cavity in there. Take your 2-part epoxy, fill in your hole, and then insert your leg. I like to do it in the raw stage because it still gives me the ability that I can manipulate my doll. So I'm not going to do this because I still have a lot of work, but I wanted to get this out in a tutorial so that you can see how I do the brass tubing. Okay, so what I would do is I would take my 2-part epoxy, and I would mix it up, and I would insert it in that hole, and then I would insert the brass tubing. Okay, now I'm going to show you the base. Depending, on what kind of base that you're going to do. This isn't really, I don't even know if I'm going to use this, but I'm showing it to you in the tutorial. You want to get yourself a nail. Now I would like a little bit longer of a nail, but I didn't have one. You pound it in to your base, and then you will snip off the top of the head of the nail. And then I will insert it into the brass tubing like that. And then that's how she would be. But now I still have a lot of work here. I got to fill this all in. And then I'm going to show you this, because this part has changed. And I kind of get a little frustrated when the things change for me, especially in the tutorial. If I was just doing this on my own and not showing everybody, I wouldn't be frustrated. But I had to take the arms off. I had to clip them off. But then I got to thinking, and I thought, well, you know what? This is a good thing, because I can show you a way that you can actually sculpt your arms and do it in sections. I had to cut these off because my clay is just always too soft. So I'm hoping that as fall is coming around the corner, that's going to change. It usually does. So I just went ahead and I cut them off, and I sculpt them separate. And I already have one going, and I will show you in another tutorial of how I will insert that onto the shoulder. There. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. And there's one other thing that I want to share with you, is that this is kind of a just a sketch, my own my thoughts. And because I'm thinking that she's going to be a fashion doll, I'm going to make a corset. Now, remember, these ideas can change with me, but my plan is to make a corset. She's going to have a fitted black skirt, kind of long, but it's the shoes that I'm going to attempt. And they're going to have like wings on the back of the shoe. Now, I have a technique that when I do the shoes, if you're interested, please leave that comment below and I will do a tutorial. I learned this many, many years ago in art school of a way to do high heels. Now that the heels are so high, which I am obsessed with shoes, and especially high heels, that the technique has really, really helped me out. And I can show you how I do it visually, and then you can just apply it to sculpting it in your clay. If this technique is on the internet, I really don't have a clue. It could be because it is an art technique. The other thing is I wanted to show you is that in my tutorial, I show you how I will draw the box, and then you will get your head size and everything. Well, your feet are going to be, one foot is going to be the size of a half of a face, and the other one, and for the length of the foot is going to be about 3/4 the length of your doll's head. It's going to vary because maybe your shoes are going to be really big and bulky looking. I don't know. But that's just a guideline. But I can show you a tutorial on doing it to where you actually do it as if you're looking at a clock. It's really a neat technique. Okay, I had a wing that I did, and I was going to show you, but let me turn the camera off and look for it, because I wanted to show you. I was really pleased with it, so I think I'm going to go with it, and I'm just going to be right back. Okay, everyone, it went on the floor. All right, here's the wing that I did, and this is just a rough draft just to see how I want to do it. Let's see if you can see it. But I thought that was pretty neat. And I started to color it, but there's the other side, just the plain side. But I thought that was pretty cool. And then see how it goes on the back of the shoe. And I'm thinking about she's going to have a purse to go with it. Maybe a fashion hat. I don't know. Kind of like what a fashion model would have on, as if she was coming down the runway. And then if I take her, and let's just place this. up to the shoe. See, I think that's pretty cool. Like that. So everybody, I really wanted to get this tutorial done with the brass tubing, and I hope that has helped you, and I will see you soon, hopefully, and I will work on this leg some more, do this one, and then the next tutorial I'll show you how to do the arms. So if there's any questions, and again, if you want to see a tutorial on how to do those high heels, just let me know, and I will be glad to show you, because it is a real neat technique. Let's see, what else? Well, I thought there was something else. Oh, I know. I wanted to mention this. There's a lot of times that when I'm sitting here sculpting on a doll, things just don't flow right for me. And it's kind of like a doodle time for me. I call it a doodle time. And because I like doing high heels so much, that I'll just sit and I'll just have a piece of clay in my hands and I will do high heels. So I think that whenever I have those times and I do a high heel, I'm just going to keep putting them up on as a tutorial, just for entertainment and just seeing what I come up with. So I hope that has helped you, and I will see you next time. Until then, have a great day.